Spices, second only to paint and lead poisoning. Yes, I know. Spices, herbs like oregano, thyme, basil. These herbs have been found to have astronomical amounts of lead, arsenic, and cadmium. This is a consumer report, so you guys can check it out. Let's get it pulled up here. Now, I'm a big proponent of growing your own herbs because I feel like even if you live in an apartment, this is something you can accomplish. I've always been an advocate of growing herbs, and for me, it was all about getting connected back to our food, getting kind of back into the dirt a little bit. Again, growing in a pot, I don't know so much. But again, yes, it turns out from consumer reports that there are high levels of lead, arsenic, and cadmium. Even in the brand Simply Organic, which is shown to have the lowest, their levels were still way too high. So it's super important that we start to grow our own herbs. And what's so amazing about growing our own herbs is it does connect us back to our food, but it's easy. Herbs are really easy to grow. You can buy seeds on Amazon. You can buy plants on Amazon. You can go to your local nursery. You can grow herbs all year round because you can grow them inside your house. So if you're interested in growing your own herbs and looking at and mitigating the effects of lead, arsenic, and cadmium in your diet, then you definitely want to look at growing your own herbs versus starting anywhere else in the garden. If you're looking to grow your own food, I highly suggest you start with herbs. The other thing is, herbs are easy to grow. Like once you plant them up, get them potted up, you just water them 2 or 3 times a week, and they're good to go.
Nice.
And when you cook with herbs, you don't use a lot. So another reason why it's so convenient and so easy to do is it's not like you're waiting for a long harvest and then you have to cut the whole thing and then go through the whole process like you typically would with most vegetable plants. Herbs are something that also smell great in the house. They deter pests. And again, having fresh herbs in your cuisine, in your dishes, oh, it's so amazing. It's one of the things that I showed my wife when we first got together. I was a big advocate of growing fresh herbs. And it turns out from consumer reports that this is exactly what we want to be doing. A lot of us want to get back to the earth. A lot of you guys watch this channel are thinking about selling your house in the city and getting out and start homesteading. Getting started with growing herbs is a great way to move in that direction. You know, if we're trying to manifest things inside our lives, one of the first things that we can do is take action. And by taking the action of growing herbs into your life and growing them into your home, into your apartment, wherever you're at, you're actually telling the universe, you're telling that God print, that God intelligence that's within inside of you that, hey, I want to get there. I want to go in that direction. So by getting reconnected to the earth, connected to the soil, if you have a garden outside, great. But if not, just getting connected back to the plants and making sure that you have your own supply of herbs for your friend, but mainly for you and your family. You know, when you're in an airplane and they give you the whole spiel right before you take off, and they say the oxygen mask comes on, they don't tell you to put the oxygen mask on someone else. They say put it on yourself first, then put it on someone else. So we have to start applying this to our own lives. So if you have been interested in growing your own food, now is not more than a better time to push you in that direction, especially with this new consumer report showing high levels of lead, arsenic, and cadmium in herbs. A lot of these herbs are coming from China, or they're coming from India, they're coming from overseas. They're not grown here in the States. So it's even more imperative that we grow these types of things in our own kitchen because it's easy. It tastes great. You're going to get more benefits from fresh herbs that you draw yourself than any herbs that you could buy that have been sitting, God knows how long they've been sitting in a plastic bag or sitting on a shelf, deteriorating, aging. And the other thing that's really cool is like when you start growing your own herbs, you can start growing different varieties of herbs, and that's really fun and cool. But I just wanted to shoot this video to let you guys know a new consumer report came out showing astronomical levels of lead, cadmium, and arsenic in herb powders. And if you're anything like me, you like using herbs. But again, another reason why to grow your own herbs, even if you live in an apartment, we don't have an excuse. It's super easy to do. You just get some good soil, get a pot, put the herbs in there, put the seeds of the herbs in there, and just watch those puppies grow and then use them. Use those herbs. As they start to grow, you can pick at them. You can use little bits of it, especially with like basil and oregano, which are some of the most common herbs used in cuisine, right? And as you start to use those, you know, the plant won't maybe look as beautiful as like a beautiful bouquet, but that's the whole point, is that you want to use the herbs. And so the fact that they're right there, fresh in the soil, growing, you pick them, you chop those up and use those. Or if you get to a place to where you have a bunch and you need to harvest it, you can harvest those herbs up. You can just let those dry. I love hanging up my herbs. I'm gonna show you guys a little clip here of me hanging up my herbs. This is how I like to do it. And I just let that slowly dry. And what I'll do from there is I'll make a tincture, or I'll make something more potent if I want to. Or I just take those dried herbs and I put those in a jar just like you'd get on the shelf at the store. And I store those. You can even freeze dry herbs if you have a freeze dryer, if you have a dehydrator. There's so many ways that you can get the herbs prepared for you the way you would want to use them. But the key is to just get started and to start growing your own. All right, guys, my name is Charles Barber. I'm founder and formulator at Crucial 4. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope this brought some information to you, but then also gave you a solution as to what you can do to help keep and mitigate heavy metals out of your diet. Because right now we're surrounded with heavy metals. We're surrounded with all these pollutants and toxins in our world. The last thing we want to be doing is consuming them. But turns out that is exactly how we're getting exposed to these heavy metals. How we're getting exposed to these pollutants is we're actually consuming them in the foods that we eat. So the only way that we can mitigate that, guys, is to grow it ourselves. And it's so easy to grow your own herbs. It's so easy, guys. It's one of the easiest things to do. So I highly encourage you guys to do that. And I'm going to be dropping videos on how to get started growing herbs. So if you're interested and you want to learn how I grow herbs and how I set up pots and how I do it at home, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'll shoot that video. I'll let you guys know. I'll show you a step-by-step process on how I grow my own herbs in containers. It's so easy to do, guys. It's way easier than you think. So I highly encourage you guys to do that. And especially with this consumer report that's coming out that's letting us know of these dangerous lead, cadmium, and arsenic levels inside our herbs. Now more than ever is the best time ever to get it going. God bless you guys. If you have any questions or comments or any suggestions, please leave them below. Hey, and please like and subscribe. Every time you like this video, the algorithm will send it out to some more people. If you share the video, sends it out to even more people. If you comment on it, sends it out to more people. We've got to get this information out to the people. This is the type of stuff that people need to know and learn about. Because I just don't want to sit here and be a Debbie Downer and be like, oh my God, the world's going to end. There's heavy metals everywhere. I'm a very solution-oriented person. So if I see a problem, I want to create a solution. And the solution to this problem is to grow your own. What a liberating process that builds independence. And if you have children in the home, like, this is a great project for them. I mean, this is so easy. It's so great to get the kids involved in this type of process. And again, those herbs are going to live in your kitchen or on your windowsill or somewhere in your apartment, your house, wherever you are, wherever you're at. You can add this into your life, and it's just going to improve your lifestyle and your environment and your food and less heavy metals in the physical. So let's go, baby. Let's get this going. Let's grow some herbs and let's mitigate all the toxic effects that we're seeing in our environment. God bless.